Hello, I'm Boarding Brute, and today on the front we're going to be talking about crude oil. It is a very important item in crafting some of the higher tier items in the game. So you're going to need a lot of it. You're going to need a lot of it for your diesel generators, your helicopter fuel, tank fuel, your jackhammers. It gets used in a lot of things. You need it for your polymer, yada yada. So there's a few different ways you can obtain oil, crude oil in this game. We kind of talked about them in a handful of other videos. There's the manual miner, there's the simple oil well. You could just go down to the desert. There's 3 oil pits down in the desert, kind of like pit mines, but just for oil. Take yourself a shovel and you'll get a bunch of oil that way. There's also 1 oil pit up in the top left corner of the map in the snow biome. So there's 4. There's 4 altogether on the map, hit mines for crude oil. But something that we're going to talk about in particular today is the simple oil well. So the simple oil well accumulates some resources. It accumulates some resources for you, okay? So when you come back to it and you check it in the morning, you're going to find it has a couple of stacks of sand, a couple of stacks, maybe a stack or 2 of crude oil, maybe 3 stacks of crude oil, but it randomly generates these 3 products, okay? And whatever goes into the inventory of the oil well first is what you're going to end up with as a result. So, for example, this morning, these 2 wells had 400 crude oil a piece, so 2 stacks in each, and this one had 3 stacks. So that's fine and dandy. That's a good return. But of course, after it accumulates maximum volume, it's not going to generate any more resources, but it's going to be continuously running. So one thing is that we're doing now with our oil wells is we're using the split single function. And so if you take a stack of something and you press the middle scroll button and drag it, you're going to drag a singular piece. Okay? And so if you put a single piece of crude oil in each inventory slot of your oil well, then throughout the course of the day, even if this were to fill up, you know, it's not going to be a whole bunch of sand and clay. Now this is just going to continuously farm only crude oil. So when I come back to this, even if I leave it for 24 hours, instead of this being only 2 stacks of crude oil, now I'm coming back. Now I got 8 stacks of crude oil potentially to work with, right? So that's something that you can do to kind of maximize the output of crude oil for yourself right at home at your base. The next best thing is there is a wine that increases soil collection. And if you get yourself a decent blueprinted shovel, like I said, visit those pit mines. There's 3 of them in the dunes, 1 of them in the top left corner of the map. You're going to have thousands and thousands of crude oil. Also, remember, AFK farming on the manual miner is another great way to generate crude oil. It won't get it instantly for you. However, if you leave your character on it overnight and come back in the morning, you're going to wake up and you're going to have a bunch of crude oil. That could be really game changing early in the game when you jump onto a new server, is leaving your player AFK on a manual miner for just like the first night you're on that server. If you end up doing that, the next day you're going to wake up, you're going to have a whole bunch of crude oil and stuff like that. You'll be able to do a whole bunch of things. But anyways, yeah, pit mines, simple oil wells, good shovels, manual miners, those are all great ways to obtain crude oil. But definitely I would recommend give this a try, see what it does for you. Myself personally, we get an abundance of sand and clay, so I would much rather these just give me stacks of crude oil. Yeah, anyways, well, enjoy, have a good time, get out there, adventure, explore the map, go visit all the POIs, get all the loot, do all the things, kill the blimp. There is a blimp update coming out today. The gun method using hand weapons on the blimp is apparently changing, so make sure you give that a try. I guess now it's going to be helicopters. Who knows? Who knows? But we're going to be coming out with a video for that soon. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we will keep the content coming. Bye for now.